Hi everyone, welcome to week, oh my gosh, 28. So I'm in my third trimester, so I don't even know if I made a second trimester video at all. I made one, I just never posted it. And so I know with my previous pregnancy, I did like week by week updates. And well, that was 6 years ago and life was so different. I just feel so busy, and when I get time by myself at home, it's rare, and I'm usually focused on getting up, going to work, coming home, working out, getting my daughter, making dinner, all those things. So I just wanted to take a chance to give an update because I had my 28-week ultrasound today, and so basically I am seeing an OB and a high-risk doctor due to my last pregnancy. And so with my OB, I really just go in and get like blood work done, and he asks how I'm doing. I say okay, the appointment's over. And so when I go to my high-risk doctor, they do all of my ultrasounds and my scan, like like any ultrasound, but and then they just send them over to my OB, and then they kind of say, oh, looks like your last ultrasound went really good, blah blah blah. So I've really gotten into that routine. That's what's been happening this whole pregnancy, and in all honesty, everything is seeming like it's just going so well, and that for whatever reason, like with my last pregnancy, things just happen the way they happen, and this one I'm just so blessed to be week 28 and it be a very quiet and boring, like, you know, pregnancy. Because me and my high-risk doctor always joke like, keep it boring, and I'm like, I will. The more boring the better. And so we always joke about that every time I'm there. So in the second trimester, I guess, just to recap the second trimester, and I did not make any notes. I literally just sat down and started the video. But the second trimester went so well. I definitely felt that like cloud 9 feeling. I got, you know, around week, like, I can't remember if it was week 16 or week 18, but I got all my energy back, and I was working out every day, and I was just feeling so good. The hip pain that I was having in the first trimester was gone. The shortness of breath has stuck around though. Like, that is one thing. I got it like 5 weeks pregnant and it hasn't gone away since. So but the hip pain and the tiredness went away, and I really just enjoyed most of the second trimester. I really got used to the Makina shots. I started taking that in week 16, and so I do that weekly in my bum muscle once a week every Friday, and I continued with my Lovenox once a day in my belly, which is getting a little bit more difficult now that things are just so stretched out. What else in the second trimester? I mean, everything was just going so good. Oh, in the second trimester, early, like, I don't know why, but week 23, maybe it's because, like, unconsciously I was nervous, even though I didn't really feel all that nervous, because week 23 was when my water broke last time, so I wasn't nervous going into that week, but maybe subconsciously or something. I started getting the nursery ready and just was really active. I was painting so much. So I ended up painting our spare bedroom, and then Cora was like, I really like this. I want my room like that too. So I actually asked her, like, do you want to move into a different room? And she said yes, so I painted that other room, which used to be the toy room, also gray. So hers and the baby's rooms are the same color now, and that was a lot of work because our whole house, all the trim work and doors and windows are antique white, and so is the ceiling, or like a tan color. And so it looks really bad with gray. So the gray was the easy part, but the trim, the doors, and the ceilings were just so much work, and it was really hard on my back. I was so sore. I would wake up the next morning and barely be able to get out of bed. So it was a lot, but I'm glad that I did it back in the earlier 20s. So I really got Cora's room and the baby's nursery put together quite quickly. It took about 3 weeks. I changed all like the face plates because they all needed to be white. All of the actual electrical like flick switches, those had to be changed out too because they were also antique white. So I bought like white light switches and white face plates, and I still have to get white for the like plug-ins, you know, that are down near the bottom of the walls. So I have a little bit of work to do still on that. But the rooms look so good. Cora has a bigger room and a bigger closet, and that's nice. And it's just, I like change a lot, especially like rooms and decor and furniture and stuff like that. Even if it's just like moving the room around, I really like change. I feel like you get the opportunity to like mass clean. So I really liked her moving, and just felt like that's her big girl room, and she's going to be really appreciative to have that room as she ages. So as far as we turned Cora's room into a guest bedroom until like everybody's done visiting, which should be, you know, like April or so time frame after the baby's here. Some people are coming to visit, some people are coming to stay and visit for a while to help me out. So we wanted a nice guest bedroom. I didn't paint it though, so it is Pepto-Bismol pink. If you've ever seen Cora's room, I hated the color the second that I put it on the walls. So eventually, after the baby's here and after just down the road, I'm also probably going to do that room, which won't be in gray. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I am going to turn it back into a playroom. So that way we have the 2 girls' rooms and then the playroom, because I'm not really a big fan of having a bunch of toys in the bedrooms because it just gets to be way too much. So they'll have that room, and people really don't come visit very often. And people keep asking me, well, they will now. And I'm like, no, they won't. Like, we'll go visit California, because the 4 of us going out compared to like a billion of them coming here is just more cost effective and stuff like that. So, and then my family lives right around here. They would never spend the night because we live a couple minutes away from each other. So I don't really have a need for a guest bedroom that just sits there and does nothing. So yeah, anyways, long story short, was super glad to get all that stuff done. I got all my baby shopping done for clothes because I put stuff up on Instagram, but I work for a baby company, and we do like sample clothes event sales. So for employees, we get these like 4 times a year. We have these sales that happen at our corporate office, and we get all the clothes, like, so that's like any kind of clothes, shoes, socks, baby blankets, diaper bags, like anything that we sell that they have left over from like the last season, for $1 each. So I went and got a whole bunch of 3 and 3 to 6 month clothes, and I just kept it just that because we have, like I said, we have them 4 times a year, so I didn't really feel like I needed or wanted to get anything bigger than 3 to 6 months. So once I return to work after maternity leave, the next sample sale that happens, I'll get like all the 9-month clothes and then the 12-month clothes. Just being at the company, I don't feel like I need to stock up on like every size clothing. And I am going more like minimalist this time. It feels so good because there's not baby stuff everywhere. And I don't feel overwhelmed with all the things. I almost feel like, oh God, am I gonna have enough stuff? And I'd rather feel that way than just like, oh my God, I have so much crap. This is ridiculous. Like the baby's taking over the house. So I don't want like a whole bunch of everything to like prepare me for what's happening 12 months from now. I just feel like Amazon makes things easier. Every store makes everything easier. I can have anything I need within a day or 2. And we have a store right down the street if we need like diapers or something that we weren't ran out of randomly. So I'm not too worried about like trying to stock up on stuff. And then let's see. So I have all the clothes, and then I even asked for the baby shower, like, can you guys not buy a lot of clothes? Like, I work for a baby clothing company, so I don't really need anything. So they're really nice. I felt like I asked nicely, and they were, I don't know if that's kind of bad to ask, but I do feel like if I didn't say anything, then there would be a lot of money put into clothes where like I don't have to spend hardly anything on clothes. So then like I set up the whole like I have Cora's crib from when she was a baby and my rocker or my glider from when she was a baby, and then we did get a new dresser as a gift and a nightstand as a gift and a rug as a gift. So that's literally like what's in the baby's room right now, and it was all either already Cora's stuff or it was a gift from our families, mostly our moms. So yeah, it's very not cluttered. It is very simple, very how I like it and how I planned for it to be. So I started putting some things in drawers a couple, like the same time I was putting the room together. I found all of Cora's newborn and 0 to 3 month clothes. So I went ahead and washed those and put those into the dresser just because I had already done it, and so it's done. I'll have to worry about it. So that's really like, I know that's not a lot of like baby like medical updates, but I didn't really have a lot of medical updates, so that's what I've been up to. What was I gonna say? I did go to one VBAC consult a couple weeks ago when I was in my second trimester, and I didn't really like the vibe I got. I really didn't like the hospital that they delivered at. I didn't get a good vibe. So I really went off of my intuition and decided no to that practice, and really hoping that I don't have to pay for the consult because I really just didn't get a good vibe. So I have another VBAC consult next week, and so I know I'll be 29, almost 30 weeks pregnant when I go to that consult. But in all honesty, that's kind of how I wanted it to go anyways. I wanted to stay with my doctor that I really was comfortable with dealing with the rupture that happened last time. And now that I've gotten into my third trimester, I feel like I can ease up on like, you know, someone else can care for me. And I asked today if my high-risk doctor could still take care of like my high-risk stuff and then all my medicine, and they said that they could. I think all of my medicine is going through them anyways, so like it doesn't, like they're handling when I have to be off of Makina, when I need to stop Lovenox and switch to heparin and all that stuff. So there's like still some medical stuff I'm really concerned about, and I want to make sure that I get the proper like prenatal care, but that I also have like a really, really good and supportive VBAC doctor. So for this one, I feel a lot more prepared, and not just to like kind of hear what they have to say, but I have a lot of questions that will help me gauge if I'm going to be comfortable with them caring for me, especially going through a VBAC. I know that it shouldn't be something like out of the ordinary or scary, and that's what a lot of people try and feed, that is like, you know, you're just getting ready for a normal birth. But I kind of have like switched my approach to like, you know what, no, it's not like it, you know, I definitely have even seen YouTubers who I used to watch and who I used to be friends with, and people who I know in real life who did go through a uterine rupture and who did go through emergency C-section, and then who almost did go through like a very very dangerous situation. So I'm not going to take it with a grain of salt like I originally felt like, oh yeah, this should go completely normal and just fine. And I have to know and prepare myself with questions for the doctor to make sure that he knows what to look out for, and that he is able to tell me before birth, before I go into labor, what I should be looking out for too. and so that way, like, we're all knowledgeable, and I know when to tell a nurse or to, you know, to make sure that we're going in the right direction, you know. So I think that it's really important to be very knowledgeable yourself. So the only way I can do that is to make sure that he knows that I know, and I know what he knows, and all that stuff. And then we just have an open line of communication. And if the communication isn't open and knowledgeable, then that's not where I want to be. So the problem is if he is not the one, and I don't get a good intuition, is I don't have another doctor to look into, but I actually do know someone who is a nurse for him in labor and delivery and absolutely loves him, and thinks that I will absolutely love the doctor too. So we're getting together and we're having lunch together, and I get to pick her brain a lot because she gets to see like everything that leads up to the actual baby coming out. So I'm really excited to be able to talk to a nurse, because I just feel like they spend so much time with you, and they are the ones who have to look out for signs and things like that to make sure that they're calling the doctor when something's going wrong or everything is just fine, and we don't need to worry, we don't need to rush anything. Like they're really they have to be there to like listen and watch how you're progressing and stuff. So super excited about that. So now that I'm in my third trimester, well, I will say, so let me back up. Around week 25, things really started to change a lot. My back pain has become like unbearable especially when I'm at work, because I'm sitting in a chair a lot. I do get up and walk around and stuff like that, but I'm still sitting for most of the day. It's an uncomfortable chair. Am I gonna bring in like a ball chair? Probably not. I am just kind of one of those people who just kind of pushes through things. So there's been times where I'm standing at my desk, or I'm even sitting on my knees on the floor because it kind of stretches my back out or whatever. But the back pain is just, and the hip pain, like mostly the hip pain, like it's all on the bottom of my back. My hips are just, they just hurt so bad. And I just really am ready for like a jet tub bath or something. And I haven't taken a bath this whole pregnancy just because of what I went through before. Like I have a really heightened sense of bacteria, and staying away from bacteria and anything that could possibly like be an issue with bacteria. So I haven't taken any baths, just showers. I have been taking showers. And I'm just not willing to, like, I kind of break down. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it, because we have a jet tub. And I'm just like, nope, it's just not worth it, because then I have to worry, and we don't know if it was because of bacteria. One of my doctors says probably not even bacteria that made it happen last time, because usually if you rupture because of a bacterial infection, you go into labor, you know, you get a fever, it's very unsafe for you and the baby, and we have to take the baby out anyways. And that didn't happen with me, so probably wasn't even a bacteria infection anyways, but oh well. I'm just not willing to even worry about it, and if I don't do it, then I don't have to worry about it. So I'm dealing with the hip pain, dealing with the back pain. I am using a little bit of essential oils that I'm allowed to use on my back, and I do notice that kind of helps a little bit. But now that I'm in the third trimester, I started my red raspberry leaf tea, and just to like prepare my uterus and my cervix. And I have noticed I have been sleeping so much better since the very day that I started drinking it, which is not what the purpose or intent was when drinking it. So I don't know if that's what it is or what, but and then like I didn't drink it last night. I made it and then I didn't drink it. And I slept terribly, but for the last whole week that I've been taking it, every single night I've gotten better sleep. I wouldn't say great sleep, but better sleep. I'm definitely tossing and turning and waking up 5 times a night to go pee. But when I have my raspberry red leaf tea, I tend to only wake up once or not at all to go to the bathroom, which is crazy because I'm waking up literally like 5 times a night to go pee. So I'm gonna make sure I drink that tonight because I got a really, really bad sleep last night. Everybody keeps suggesting that I should get a pregnancy pillow, and I'm also like, don't really want to spend the money on that, especially since we have so many pillows. Like, I use 5 pillows already, and I know it's different, and people are like, it's so worth it, but I'm like, it's like almost $100 for a pillow I'm not going to use forever. And again, I'm going more towards the minimalist. Like, if I don't have to buy it, I'm not gonna buy it. You know, like, I have 2 pairs of pregnancy pants, a couple dresses, like pre-pregnancy dresses that fit me, and all the shirts pretty much that I have, they're pre-pregnancy, I'm wearing them. The only maternity shirts I have are tank tops. So I've been putting them, and they're like the 2-inch like this. This is not a maternity one, but yeah, I have tank tops, so that way as I do get bigger and my clothes tend to get shorter, there's a tank top underneath, and so I just make it work. I work in a corporate building, and I don't see customers, you know, customers don't come in. I don't really go to a lot of meetings. I'm an accountant, so I pretty much just sit at my desk and do my own thing all day, so I don't feel the need to be going and buying a lot or any maternity clothes, really, because I'm at work majority of my life, and when I'm at work, I'm not in need of like buying a bunch of maternity clothes. So I'm in pregnancy clothes now, other than my pants that I change out every other day because I only have 2 pairs. And it's starting to get winter here, so I'm wearing my pants a lot more. So I have a pair of like black leggings that I'm wearing, and then a pair of maternity jeans. And I bought them when I was 7 weeks pregnant, and they've been working ever since. They stay up a lot more now, but yeah, I've been wearing them since the moment I couldn't fit into my jeans. I tried to do the elastic trick, you know, where you put one of these around the button, because I did that with Cora until I only had like 1 pair of maternity jeans with her before my water broke, and that worked just fine to use this little thing, but I think that's because I wore low-rise jeans then, because I was like 22, and so now that I wear higher-rise jeans, it didn't work. I was like, oh yeah, I won't have to buy jeans until I'm like 20 weeks pregnant. It worked last time. But I wear a different style of jean now than I did when I was younger. So it didn't work at all, actually. So I had to go buy maternity jeans at like 7 weeks pregnant. It was ridiculous. But I literally couldn't fit in my high-rise like work pants or anything, so I just gave up. I wasn't even going to try and figure it out. I know this is turning into a long video, but I never make videos, so whatever. So I've been really happy with not buying really hardly any baby stuff. I have bought like 3 things. I bought the pack and play, a swaddle blanket, and a diaper bag, and I think that's about it. I think. I don't know if I bought anything else. But it's been very, very, very minor. I have my baby shower this weekend though, so I have been waiting on my baby shower, of course. So after the baby shower, I'll know what else I need to get. But I don't think I'll be running out like this very next weekend to get everything. I think I'm just gonna enjoy being pregnant and enjoy being like not in a hospital. I've been just, I think that's what it, like, I'm just so blessed that I'm just kind of like, you know, and just taking one day at a time, and every day leads me back to my home, and another day at home, and another day where I am healthily pregnant. So my scans have gone really, really well. My scan today went really well. They got all new machines like yesterday. They said this was their first day ever using these new ultrasound machines, and they had the 3D and all that kind of stuff on there. So I got to see her little face in 3D today, and that was really fun. I got to see her 4 chambers of her heart and her brain and her bones, and just every scan has just looked so good. Her fluid is great. My placenta is great. I do have an anterior placenta, so I don't feel her like I felt Cora, but Cora also didn't have fluid either. But I can definitely tell, like, for what I think other people feel at 28 or 29 weeks, that probably feel less. Like, I don't feel hiccups with her at all. I did feel hiccups today while she had the ultrasound on my belly, like the probe or whatever, because she was pushing down on my stomach and I could see the baby hiccup. But I did feel the jolt, but I think it was just because the wand was on my belly. But I was just complaining last night to my husband, like, I haven't even felt her have hiccups, and I'm 28 weeks pregnant, which is crazy because I started feeling hiccups with Cora at like 21 or 22 weeks, like really early. I was definitely not in the hospital yet before I felt her hiccups. I felt her move really early. It was like 18 weeks. With this baby, I felt like it was like 21, 22 weeks before I really, I mean, I could just like really tell it was actually some kicks, you know. So I did get confirmation that she is head down. Her head is right up against my cervix, but my cervix is nice and long and healthy and how it should look at all stages every time they've checked. So they won't be checking my cervix anymore for the whole pregnancy via ultrasound. And if I do go with this doctor, and after discussing with him, I probably won't have a lot of like cervix checks, like, you know, at 37 and 36 and 35 weeks. Like, I just feel like they're not even worth it, especially if you're going to tell me I'm like 2 or 3 centimeters dilated, and then it takes me 4 or 5 more weeks before I'm due, and then I don't even go into labor. Like, I feel like every woman's like, oh, I'm at a 2, like maybe something will happen, and then 5 weeks later they finally have their baby. So if it's something that's unnecessary, I'm just not willing to do it. I haven't had an internal exam this entire pregnancy, and I have been so blessed to have doctors who are like, I see your reasoning. Like, I do have to give them a good reason, and just coming in, being your own advocate and being knowledgeable really helps them think that you're not just like being a douchebag about not, taking care and doing what they suggest you to do, because I had really good reasoning to not get any internal exams. Like the first exam, they wanted to do an internal exam when I was like 10 or 11 weeks, when I was first seeing my actual OB, to verify the pregnancy. I was 10 or 11 weeks. I had 2 ultrasounds with my fertility specialist already, and so I verified my pregnancy just fine, already twice, not doing an internal exam. So I wasn't, with the fact that the whole purpose, and see, this is where you have to like be knowledgeable. Ask them, like, what is the purpose of this exam? And they told me it's to verify pregnancy. Okay, well, we verified pregnancy. Here's my 2 ultrasounds. Definitely know I'm pregnant. Definitely know baby is doing just fine and has a heartbeat and all that. If there's any further reasoning to go in there and introduce maybe some type of bacteria into my body, I'm going to need a better reason than confirming a pregnancy. So and then with my past, having the same doctor as the one I had with Cora, obviously I was like, well, if we can introduce no bacteria, then that would be best for me. So let's not do that. So just being your own advocate, I find that they really, really respect it. They don't look down on me. Some of the older nurses who are really set in their ways kind of got a little snippy with me, but none of the doctors have. They have been absolutely on my side and never ever once made me feel bad for any of the services I've turned down. So anyways, I know that's like a 30-minute video. I apologize. I do want to tack on a video or a picture of her from today, so you guys can see her. Oh, I can't even believe that my whole life is like based around workouts, and I didn't even discuss that. But second trimester, so in the first trimester, I worked out as much as I could. My breasts were just super, super sore, and I was super nauseous and throwing up and sick. So I didn't work out every day, but any day I could work out and I felt good enough, I definitely worked out. I was also sleeping like 10 to 12 hours a night. So some days I would just come home right from work and I would be sleeping already. And Alex was just amazing with Cora for the first whole trimester because I would literally go to sleep at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and not get back up. So I was so proud of them and just so appreciative of both Cora and him for the first trimester. When the second trimester hit, and again, a little bit later, like 16 to 18 weeks, I was able to start working out every single day. I just felt so good. I wasn't nauseous, and my breasts weren't sore. I wasn't sore. My back wasn't sore. Like, I just felt so good. I felt energized. I really wanted to work out. And about week 25 is when I've had to start slowing down again. Not as much as the first trimester, but I definitely know, like, I'll work out and I'll take a day or two off and then I'll work out again. But when I do work out, I feel like I can work out more intensely than even in the second trimester and definitely in the first. Like, I did push-ups on my knees yesterday and felt like I couldn't do push-ups the last trimester. So I just feel like I am keeping my strength up. I'm definitely losing every bit of, the look of the muscle and the cuts and the figure that I had just 28 weeks ago. It seems like it was just, so it kind of seems kind of sad. But I know that, the strength is still there because I'm still able to get through some really tough workouts. And I still, for the most part, feel pretty good about my physique, with as much you can gaining, all the pregnancy. I think I've gained all the weight that I really need to for this pregnancy. And I know that baby is about to triple in size, so I know that more weight is coming. But we all gain weight differently and I just have to kind of just roll with the punches, But yeah, having to accept it and positively accept it came slowly to me at first because I've been working for so long to get into shape and gotten into the best shape that I have ever gotten into. So to look at myself even 28 weeks ago and to see like a rack of abs and then now be like, oh God, oh my God, who is that in the mirror? Has been some days challenging, but more often I feel good than not, so at least I'm getting my workouts in, and that pushes me to make sure that I am feeling good after pregnancy, that I feel mentally, I think more mentally than physically better after pregnancy than what I think physically. And then every workout I'm always thinking about my strength and my ability in the delivery room. Like, every workout pushes me, like, that's what I'm thinking about every workout, and that's pretty motivating and exciting. So I know we're getting really, really far into this, so let me show you guys the bump date. I have a really loose shirt on. Like I said, I'm wearing all of my pre-pregnancy stuff, so some days people at my work can't even tell that I'm pregnant because I wear like not revealing, like belly revealing things. So like if I didn't, and I wore like a jacket all day, so people can't even tell all that much. But if I lift my belly up, I don't know, you can see. Some days I feel like I look bigger than others, so yeah. There's the bump. 28, almost 29 weeks. I'll be 29 weeks tomorrow. So they did say that she was 2.5 pounds already. So I think 2.5 pounds, right at 2.5 is what they guesstimated from their measurements today. So all right guys, that's it for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'm sorry that this was so long, even if you got this far, but at the end I'm going to put a picture of baby girl's face. So all right, you guys have a great one. Bye.